Yo, welcome back to the house where we talk news, celebrities, and hot topics. I want to go ahead and talk about new RHONY. Well, I don't really want to talk about new RHONY. I really want to talk about this man right here, this lovely, beautiful man, Eric D. Fuller, Housewives producer Eric Fuller, and how y'all are dragging the fuck out of him on social medias. That's what I really want to talk about, but we're going to talk about him by way of new RHONY. Now, unpopular opinion, this finale, RHONY finale, did not shake me up in the way that y'all made it seem, the way y'all was hyping it up, the way y'all compared it to Candy and Sex Dungeons and Dragons and Phaedra and Portia. I was just like, I mean, it was dangerous. What Brynn did was pretty dangerous. It was pretty fucked up, but it wasn't like, oh my God, they can never come back from this. I was just like, okay, like, I don't know. It just wasn't really giving. So these two, okay, let me just go from the beginning so that the girlies know what the fuck I'm talking about. So this is new RHONY. They got a new cast: Raquel, Sai De Silva, Jessel, Jenna Lyons, Aaron Licky, Miss Whitfield, Brynn Whitfield, and Ubah Hassan. Okay, Whitfield and Hassan, they going back and forth, back and forth. Ubah is a very easy target. You know what I mean? So Brynn is antagonizing the situation, and she's saying stuff to Ubah, and Ubah goes, "Oh, well, I got onto this show because of who I am, and you got on here. Well, we don't know exactly why you're here. Maybe you slept with somebody to get this job. Maybe you slept with somebody to get onto the show." Very low blow. In Ubah's defense, though, Brynn Whitfield is an antagonizer. Okay, she will push and poke and click and press all of those buttons, and it's so easy to derail Ubah because she's Ubah hot in 2.5 seconds. Okay, piss Ubah off, and you know she's going off, and it don't take too much. Look at her the wrong way, Ubah going off. Okay, very easy target. Brynn knows that. Brynn is coming after her. Then Ubah goes, "Oh, well, maybe you slept with somebody to get onto the show." Ouch. Low blow. They had another situation where, they're in the pool and they're arguing. They're going back and forth. And, Brynn goes, "Oh, I fly private. You fly commercial." And she goes, "Oh, you fly private with who? Somebody's husband." Okay. And what I believe is happening here is the fact that Brynn is a very sexual person, and I don't mean that in a physical way. Like, I don't know what she's truly doing in her bedroom, but she's sexual in the sense that she's always making sexual jokes, and she's flirting with people's husbands, and she's flirting with the staff and the help and those people, and she's always talking about, "Oh, if you piss me off, I'll date your man, and I date billionaires, and yada, yada, yada. I've been engaged 5 times." Okay? So sexual in that sense, right? She's always talking about sex. So I think that's why Ubah's like, "Oh, with somebody's husband, and I don't know how you got this job. Maybe you slept with somebody." I think Ubah told her to take a nap or whatever. And I don't know what she said verbatim, but Brynn was like, "Oh, should I stick a dick in my mouth too?" And Ubah was like, "Yeah, sure. Why not?" Okay. That's sort of a thing. So fast forward to, what's her face? Brynn Whitfield is talking to the ladies, and she's really upset about the situation because she kind of feels like, okay, well, Ubah keeps like insinuating these sexual things about me, and she knows like my past about me being great. Oh, shocker. Now, I think we can all agree, okay, that, we're all on the same page that Brynn probably, I'm not going to say probably, that Brynn was sexually assaulted, right? Okay, no one is debating or litigating that. Okay, but it's the fact that she said, "Oh, and Ubah knew about it." She's insinuating that I slept with somebody to get onto the show and talking about a dick in my mouth and saying that I'm with somebody's husband, etc., etc., etc. And she's making all of these insinuations knowing my past, my traumatic past. So they're like, "Oh my God, Ubah did what? Ubah knew, and she would still say those things? How evil." They were ready to get the pitchforks and go after Ubah's ass until Jessel, being the good friend that she is, went back to Ubah and told Ubah what Brynn had been saying. And then Ubah denied it first off, and said, "I did not know. She ain't ever told me that." And Ubah goes Ubah crazy. And then later on, they're having a conversation about the situation again, and they go, "Are you sure Ubah knew about your graping situation in the past?" And she goes, "Well, come to find out, maybe she didn't clock it." So she claims last year, or in 2023 BravoCon, she was hysterical over the phone with Ubah because there was a whole unaliving situation with one of her relatives or family friend. She was yelling and screaming and being hysterical over the phone, venting over the phone to Ubah. And she claims that in the middle of that conversation, she had dropped a bomb that she had been sexually assaulted in her past. And and now in today's time, she's saying, well, she says that Ubah knew about it. Ubah is insinuating these sexual things about me, and she knows my traumatic past. And then an hour later, she tells the girls, well, maybe she didn't clock it because I was very hysterical over the phone. Okay, moving on. So what I really want to talk about is the fact that Eric D. Fuller was in the Airbnb in Puerto Rico when all of this was going down. Okay, and all of the girlies recognized him onto the finale, and now they're dragging the fuck out of him. Now, I don't know why they not mad at this lady. Okay, that lady in the blue. I don't know why y'all not mad at her. Why is y'all mad at the black gay man and not mad at this lady right here? Okay, y'all picking and choosing who y'all want to be mad at. Why y'all want to be mad at the black man? Okay, but no, he was in the finale of the episode. Okay, again, Eric Fuller is a Housewives producer. He worked on Atlanta, Potomac, and now New RHONY. Okay, and this is a video of him hugging Brynn. Okay, they're hugging. So they kind of feel like, okay, Eric D. Fuller is comforting her and is on her side. He's been accused in the past of being biased and showing favoritism to certain ladies. And Brynn right now is the villain. She's the villain. She was caught lying on Ubah. Okay? So they're like, oop, he's in cahoots with Brynn. Totally ignoring the other producer, but okay. And then, so that's Eric. And then, okay, so here's how people know Eric. Eric is the producer who was EPing this season of Potomac, I think 2 seasons ago when Giselle came out with the claims that Chris Bassett made her go into a hotel room, lured her into a hotel room, and she was so severely uncomfortable about the situation. And then on the next season, doubled down and said, Chris made me go into the hotel room. When you say someone made you do something, you're insinuating that it was by force, which we know is a lie. And the folks were upset with Eric because Eric is the EP. And they kind of felt like he's co-signing or encouraging, or at the very least, not stopping the fake narratives and the lies being spewed onto the television show by way of the Green Eyed Bandits, more specifically, Giselle Bryant. Okay? A very interesting situation. So they kind of feel like, okay, you know, he's biased. He's showing favoritism to the Green Eyed Bandits plus Ashley Darby. They feel like he's allowing Giselle to run the show. He's allowing Giselle to be a producer. He's allowing Giselle to come onto the show with these false storylines, these false narratives, these lies about people's families and their children and their husbands, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. So he was a huge, huge, huge target on that season. A lot of the girlies, really were going the fuck in on him. Okay. Then he produced the subsequent season of Atlanta. Let me see if I can get a picture of Marlo, Kenya. I hate this keyboard so much. My muscle memory is so bad with this keyboard. Okay. Marlo and Kenya. Remember was it last season? Season 15? I think it was last season. Hold on. Let me get this out of my face. I'm sorry, y'all. Okay. I believe it was last season. The Housewives fans were upset at Eric Fuller. Let me put him up. Okay. They were upset with Eric Fuller because they kind of felt like he's friends with Marlo. Okay. So again, another situation where the Housewives fans are, accusing this producer of favoritism and bias, right? Which is in turn creating an imbalanced show, which is in turn creating these flop seasons with these false storylines and all of that thing. Okay. Remember in season 15, I think it was Kenya was really upset because they took her salon out, her salon soft opening. They took that out and instead opted in for this, what they call a fake. This is what the fans are saying. This fake scene of Marlo Hampton doing like charity or like this foundation, right? Even Monietta came onto my show and was being, speculating about the situation and was like, she got this random scene where she's doing like this charity foundation work, and yet we did not even really get to see Kenya's salon. That's suspicious. Maybe because nothing happened at the salon that was worth showing. Maybe because it wasn't done. Okay, maybe because there was water in the shampoo bottles. No, I'm playing. But listen, so it's given. Okay, they're trying to show Marlo in a good light. They're trying to show Kenya in a bad light. They don't want to promote her businesses. Y'all know Kenya Moore went on to Carlos King and was too hot about the situation because Real Housewives of Atlanta was her marketing tool. And, to really push that salon opening, and it didn't really happen the way it was supposed to happen. So she was too pissed at the situation, which is why she came on to season Sweet 16 and said that she was going to show those explicit images or that explicit image of Britt Edie at her salon opening because she knew that it was going to make the news, it was going to make the blogs, and it was also going to make the show. And there was no way that they were not going to show her salon opening if she had porn at the salon. I mean, I'm just saying, she's an extremist. Okay, it was too extreme. It was too radical. Right? She said, I'm going to make sure my shit gets shown this year. Anyways, so they blame Eric Fuller for all of that. I found an old article from lovebscott.com that said RHOA and RHOP executive producer Eric Fuller speaks out, says he's not responsible for casting or choosing scenes. Okay, so that was that situation, right? People feel like he's biased. He's showing favoritism. He ruined RHOP. He allowed Giselle to spew her lies on Potomac. We see that he's producing in Atlanta. He's biased. He's showing favoritism. Marlo's getting a great edit. Meanwhile, Kenya can't even get her salon open. He's ruining Atlanta. Okay. Then we see that he's producing RHONY. Okay, so do y'all understand the pattern? And now Brynn is lying on Ubah, and guess who's hugging up on Ubah? Eric Fuller. So you guys are, catching the pattern. They feel like he's going from show to show, single-handedly ruining the franchise. Okay. Well, here's what the folks are saying on the TikTok. Okay, here's what they're saying. Please stop hiring Eric Fuller as a producer. He has ruined every franchise he touches. Somebody said, I stopped watching all the franchises. He must be why it wasn't giving what it used to. He's ruined every show he's produced. Somebody said, because of course some sassy ass man would be the problem. I cannot stand him. Somebody wrote, he ruined Potomac. Okay, there's more. Granny Gertrude said the producer who try not to laugh is Eric Fuller, who was responsible for producing the literal worst seasons of Potomac, Atlanta, and now RHONY the past few years. Okay. Kind of echoing the same sentiments. Okay. Majestic Myron said, since it's still fresh in my mind, get Eric off. Bravo. Him as an EP producer has ruined every single franchise he's worked with, and his favoritism shows Atlanta, Potomac, and now New York have been tainted with his presence. Y'all giving Eric a lot. Somebody said every time a housewife situation spirals, there his ass is. At this point, he's bad juju. Okay, somebody else said, when I saw his ugly ass, that's not nice, Keith. Keith, what you look like? Keith, come on now. Keith O'Neal, that is not nice. Come around the corner, I said, oh shit, that's who's behind Brynn's delusions. Somebody said that he is always around very messy, nasty situations. Eric Fuller has now been involved with almost every season where housewives have gone too far and falsely weaponized sexual assault. Clock it. Y'all, they are dragging the hell out of him. Everyone criticizes the wives when these seasons go wrong, but it's worth noting that Eric Fuller, who was behind the declining seasons of Potomac and Atlanta, is producing this season of RHONY. The way they are using Brynn is almost identical to Ashley Giselle pushing fake stories forgot this was the infamous Eric from RHOP at the Candace's Epic. Where's Eric? I need to talk to Eric. He also ushered Candace away after the Monique fight. Eric Fuller has brought his colorism mess from Potomac to this franchise. The way Brynn has been antagonizing Ubah this whole season and the planting the angry black woman narrative with the help of Eric, Jenna, and Raquel is sickening. Yeah. Despite last night's finale being fantastic, I really hope Eric, the producer, is banished from Bravo shows after this season. I blame him for Atlanta and Potomac's declines. Yada, yada, yada. Okay. So, I don't know. Y'all let me know how y'all feel about the situation. Should Eric D. Fuller be fired? I kind of feel like, I don't know. No, I don't feel like he should be fired. Do I feel like he needs to be EPing? I don't know. I'm not upset with him. I'm not upset with him, honestly. Because I feel like the producers didn't make Brynn say Ubah knows, and Ubah knows, like, no one made her say that. So it's like somehow this is some sort of a scheme that the producers set up. No one made her say that. Like, y'all let me know how y'all feel about everything in the comments down below. Like the video, subscribe to the channel, and don't forget to create a great day. Let's talk about it. Bye. Love you.